Karis. This is my Padlet discussion for Module 6 on marriage and family. I have notes, so I'm going to read off of here. But for question 1, or A, I chose the part of the section that said to show the importance of commitment in building and enduring satisfying marriage. And there are a few points I wrote down. So the first one was about how marriage is a lifelong commitment, and this happens mostly in heterosexual marriages and relationships. They're pretty big on that, and obviously this can happen in like marriage is a form of commitment and a form of bringing two people together and committing your lives to each other. And this can happen whether like you're heterosexual, homosexual, Muslim, Christian, any type of religion, doesn't matter. But I also know that there are different forms of marriage as well. And one thing I did want to point out is it's not only a promise of declaration, but the emotional attachment that comes with marriage is so important, because that's why like choosing your partner is important. You want to be with someone who you can be emotionally stable around. And also I think this ties into attachment styles too. Like, for example, if like in my relationship, I have an anxious attachment style, and my boyfriend can be kind of avoidant or dismissive. And we've had to work a lot on our relationship and remembering that like commitment is like good, but communication is key. And so I think those are some things to really pay attention to. For the second question, B, I put premarital sex as my topic, and I chose to talk about the double standard. There's something called the conflict theory. I don't remember much about what that says, but I wrote how back in the day mostly, but now I guess too, it says boys were traditionally known to have more experience, while girls were to save themselves as virgins until marriage. Nowadays, obviously, and back then with a lot of religion, this was common, because like, for example, I grew up in a conservative Christian home, and it was taught that you're supposed to save yourself until marriage. But in society, like, it's so normal for people to have premarital sex, and that's their choice. Like, there's nothing like bad about it at all. But this is where the double standard comes in, is that like guys were just automatically assumed to have more experience, where girls were probably like shown to wait till marriage because they wanted to keep their innocence, which I honestly don't like agree with, because I think a lot of people's innocence is taken from them too soon because of coercion and unconsented sexual activity. So that's my thoughts on there. For C, I put that the copper IUD can cause more cramps and heavier bleeding. I didn't know this. I've had the other IUD before, and it just didn't work for me, and I still dealt with these symptoms. But from what I remember, I'm pretty sure the copper IUD is not hormonal. I think. I could be wrong. But if it's not, I guess that's why it can cause heavier bleeding. But I know it helps with a lot of other things. And then lastly, for the fourth question, for D, I put that for women, the main sexual dysfunction is called vaginismus, and it's an involuntary spasm of muscles around the vagina. And I actually didn't know this existed at all. I mean, I guess it makes sense. I feel like women typically have a lot of issues with their reproductive system. I'm not really sure why. I guess it's just how we were made, and I think it's frustrating for all of us a lot of the times because we're just trying to live. But yeah, those are the things I learned, and I hope that this video just helps with some things that you guys didn't know. But bye.